Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Super Friends. I'm the Jake.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Ben.
We have some spicy topics to talk about to you today, including some cards revealed from Set 2. But first, we'll have to give out an apology real quick to the fans out there, the millions and millions of the Jake's fans out there.
I was sick.
Kevin was ill, and it was awful.
Hey, don't put this on Kevin. I was sick too.
You caused it. I mean,
Probably.
you're
I don't think Ben could cause my dehydration. I always gotta have that thirst, apparently.
This is for extreme thirst.
I'm just a SpongeBob meme at this point.
I mean, you are many things, Kevin. Let's just not talk about that, shall we?
Let's put it in a box and just save it for later.
Let's crumble up in a ball and put it over there.
This is a family podcast.
This is a fail. This is PG.
That's not true at all, but continue.
I wanted PG-13.
Let's get on to the topic.
All right. So first off, we want to talk about a little bit about some of the leaders that were revealed from Blue and Green for Set 2. There were some good ones, some bad ones. We're going to go over topics and tell you some of the cards that support that card as well, that we think is just very good, with the overall strategy of the deck, and talk to you a little bit more about that. So, Kevin, what were some of your picks for tonight's topic?
So we're going to talk about two leaders in particular today. And the first one is Future Trunks, which on both his front side and awakened side, when you combo with a card that has a cost of 2 or more, you draw a card once per turn during your turn.
Very good.
And also, obviously, on the awakened side, you draw a card when you attack. So it's very generic, and it doesn't do much else besides draw. But I think what makes Future Trunks playable in this set is the support behind it, not just the leader.
I believe Trunks' support is actually one of the best right now. That was revealed.
It's good. I actually appreciated it. To be honest.
Yeah, and I think that Trunks' ability to be able to make any combo, any card you combo with, live enough to draw a card if it places this up, I think that's very good. So imagine dropping a 10k drop that already draws you a card. You're drawing 2 cards off of that.
Well,
so you're
drawing 3 altogether because
and then when you attack, draw.
Oh yes, it's yeah. So like I feel like the card.
It's like what Gohan wanted to do, but better. It
Yeah.
allows you to play aggressively and not have to completely waste all your resources to get where you want to go.
Yeah, I feel personally the leader is an engine sort of card. Like it just fuels the engine, and just like you could go off on it and have so many pluses to the point in which like you can beat them on sure card advantage alone. I think that's very viable.
I hope they also don't rule it though that it has to be the first card you combo with that it triggers, kind of like with Champa.
Champa. I mean, it says once per turn, so I'm assuming they'll rule it the same way.
I mean, that would be garbage, but since it has once per turn, I think that it will be ruled.
I was actually under the impression it was the first card you combo with. I guess I would be wrong about that.
I think it's not. I think it's you can just choose when to activate it. But I mean,
well, they have some general FE rulings.
We'll see when the FAQ comes out.
Yeah, you know how Bandai is, so
yeah.
Some of the wording is a little wonky.
Some of the wording is a little ridiculous for sure.
I mean, translation error, it happens.
Yeah, so for Future Trunks for you, so what's some of the support cards you think that would be good with that?
Okay, so there's one card. It's a 3-drop Trunks Creator of Future, and its effect is you activate main and you place it at the bottom of your life deck to play a Goku or Vegeta from your hand, and you play it. And I don't think it has a restriction of the cost for them, but
it might be 3 or less.
Or you know what? It is 3 or less.
For
I
what?
think.
Which one?
For the Trunks Creator Future.
It's hold on, I got it right here. Let's see. Place this card at the bottom of your deck. Choose one Blue Sun Goku or Vegeta with an energy cost of 3 or less from your hand and play it.
Okay, so the Wombo combo with that is there's a Vegeta 3-drop. It's 15k, but when it's played off of the Future Trunks, you pop any battle card your opponent controls, which I think that's amazing. You can kind of just, attack with the 3-drop Trunks. I think is it 10k or 15k, Ben?
The Vegeta or the Trunks? The Trunks card that does that? Yeah. The Trunks card that does that is a 15k.
So you can attack with it and then put it on the bottom of your deck and get that Vegeta to pop another battle card and then swing with that Vegeta, which is also...
It's 15K. A lot of pluses. It's a combo-oriented deck, I feel Trunks is starting to get into. Like, it's focusing on synergistic of the cards in general and what they do. Mm-hmm. And what's another one that you have?
I also have the Bobo 1-drop. It fetches a Future Trunks card, so you can actually get that Trunks Creator of Future and then play it and then do all that shenanigans.
And then if you play a green or blue deck with that stuff, you can use the Slasher Trunks or the Revenge and Evo it on top.
Yeah, that card got instantly better.
Yeah, that combo got instantly better because now there's more targets for it, and I feel like that's what we just needed pretty much. I think it's really good. It's one of the rare cards in the game that be able to interact with your drop area and returning stuff to your hand. And I think that's really good.
It's the only one in set 1. I mean, there's definitely a few in set 2 that interact with the drop zone, especially cooler. But...
Yeah, I remember playing the demo decks when it first came out, and that card dropping Trunks was like the coolest thing you ever did. And when we first played, because you always get back the 10k kit Trunks card from your drop area back to your hands, so you're just playing it again for free. And it's like that's just too many pluses with that card. But we were like,
yeah, you were winning games.
It was a ball buster for sure. Like when I saw Kevin drop that, I knew he was ahead because he already had an additional card he was able to reach through his deck to thin out. And he has a 15k Revenge, and I can't do anything with it with creatures. It's good that way.
Yeah, but that's demo deck shenanigans and actual testing. The combo's not as good.
The combo,
it's not worth it.
It takes a lot of sequence, and the game is very known for tempo. So I feel like if you're not doing something by a specific turn that you need to, it's not going to go in your favor. Generally speaking, it's almost not worth playing.
Yeah, it's because the 1-drop doesn't really give you that much value. I mean, it's good in turn like 1 or 2, I guess, but then after that, it's just kind of a dead card in your hand, to be honest.
Yeah, having the Evo B3 is very relevant, especially late game. I think playing that card late game is actually better than doing early game, which I think they were trying to push, I guess, for the efficient costs of these creatures, but...
Yeah, what happens is you just have to have 4 energy, at least, to do it all in one motion, because you're not going to risk that little Trunks out there with only 10k attack.
And having a gate kill it, that's tragic. Or have something like a Beerus target. Like it's just the more time is spent on the battle, the more risks there are for it to get removed.
Yeah. If your opponent knows you're going to have at least 3 energy next turn and have that Slasher Trunks on the field, they're killing Slasher Trunks that turn. Just I
got killed plenty of times from Kevin and Slasher Trunks combo, and everyone's done the same with each other. It's pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, good times.
It's good value. It's actually one of the memories I'll never forget for that card for sure. So Ben, we were going to talk about another leader. Can you introduce the leader and pretty much what it does? Also, what 2 cards that you picked from?
There's actually 2 things though before the Trunks we switch over.
Yeah.
So Trunks also has Mai, which it's a free blocker.
She's really
Yes. So she's a 2-drop 5k blocker, but if your leader is Future Trunks, you don't have to pay anything for her, so you can just drop as many as you want, which I think is really good.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, don't forget the Trunks' Time Machine card.
Yeah, that's also what
Trunks Time Machine. I had those exact cards. May, Supporter Hope, and Trunks Time Machine.
So Trunks Time Machine, you look at the top 10 and you get a Goku, Vegeta, or Future Trunks, and you just add it to your hand. And if you have 4 or more energy when you play this card, the card is free because it's a 1-drop. Mind you, it's a 1-drop regardless, and it's like, you look at the top 10, see, that's really good. It's just so much options. Like, you're going to hit every time. There's no way that
10 cards, yeah, that's a lot of cards. That's a lot of cards to go through.
Who knows how many targets?
Yeah, if you're having all 3 targets in your deck, that's almost like
it's guaranteed.
It's more than half, I believe, with the cards.
Yeah, it's guaranteed for sure.
Yeah, definitely. That definitely sounds good.
Another cool card I found that could probably supplement the Trunks is Son Gohan Future. So what he does is a 1 cost 10k combo, but when you combo with him, at the end of the battle that you combo with him, he comes into play in rust mode.
Yes, I remember seeing that. I thought that was pretty solid as well.
Yeah, so you draw a card and you get field presence as well.
I think it's very good defensively. I don't think it's...
you won't get the +1 from Trunks though because it's only on your turn when you combo.
Yeah, but it does say at the end of the battle, so if you have to, you can use it defensively and still get the same effect. But you're not getting full value if you're not going to attack.
But at the same time, you don't mind doing it during your opponent's turn because then it untaps at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's pluses to playing that on either turn. Really.
Yep. And then there's also another one that does the same thing. It's a 0 for 5k. And then if your leader card is blue, you can choose an energy and switch it to active mode after you combo with it.
I saw that too. That's good. The blue, I think Future Trunks, out of the leaders that we've seen so far, like Zamasu and Goku Black are the other ones. I like Future Trunks the most, and his whole package by far. Like, if I were going to play blue next set, I would definitely look at Future Trunks just because, since, like Jake said, it's combo-oriented, it seems fun.
I really undervalued combo decks when I first started getting into any trading card game. I always hated combo decks. They always were complicated, long. But like as I grew into the trading card game culture in general, I came to appreciate combo decks a lot more because of how powerful these literally are together. You know?
Yeah, it's also a thing too. It's rewarding. especially like when you do like the ultimate combo for whatever deck you're doing, once you have it all in place and you see it just kind of unfold, it's just satisfying.
Yeah, because then your opponent really has nothing to do with that once your combo actually comes out, because you're just like spam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
It's so much sequence, and actually it rewards players who are actually sequenced like that as well, like the way I am when it comes to decks and stuff like that. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. You always want to make sure you have plays as you keep going during the turns and stuff like that. So
yeah, I definitely think it rewards players too, combo wise, if you know all the cards in the set and in the game, because like you can know what to expect and you know what the chances are of ripping X off the top. So it's just like deck information and stuff, which is really important.
yeah. You want to say, Ben?
No, nothing else was agreeing with Kevin.
Yeah, I was gonna say personally, when it comes to the trunks in general, I feel personally like when you to be able to have any combo in your hand live, I think it's very good. It definitely helps you late game, especially when it kind of benefits you to be aggro and play all your cards early, because you're able to get those back by just having those cards, by just having Trunks Leader. To draw one card, combo, get another card, play a 10k, draw another card, that's 3 cards.
Yeah, and then like when you're comboing too, you're also like making your opponent force like, oh, do I want to eat that life or do I want to waste cards in my hand to try to match the combo? Because that's going to get a little relentless after a while if you just keep drawing cards and comboing on people.
It's pretty good.
For sure. The other thing too, like when you combo with a card now against your opponent and you want them to take a life, you can get rid of a card in your hand, but you're still drawing it, so it's almost like value, and it pushes more pressure on your opponent, because either they're going to take the life and it's like, okay, that's what I wanted in the first place, but it's no sweat off your back really, because you're replacing the card that you combo with.
Yep.
So Future Trunks, actually just talking about it right now, it makes me want to play him. So
yeah, I would definitely be doing a lot of playtesting with him for sure.
I'd like doing a lot of playtesting against him too.
Yeah,
I mean that's part of the gauntlet.
Yeah, it benefits players who are really into the competitive scene and really into the cards and what cards do, and the possibility of what you have in your hand, depending on how much energy you have open. Like a lot of that factors in, and I think this sort of leader rewards that sort of player.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that people should try for sure if they're trying to get super competitive in any card game. Really, you kind of want to have a gauntlet of decks. You want to have like X amount of decks made, especially like if they're quote unquote meta decks. You want to test against those. So like if you possibly can and you have the cards to make it, you definitely should do that and just practice with your friends against those decks and take turns or whatever you guys want to do, because that's how you get better. And that's how you know
that's
the
how
matchup.
we got better for sure.
And that's how you learn officially like, if a card works or if it doesn't work.
Yeah, so it's just better knowledge and better practicing. It just makes you a better player.
Yeah, and I also believe that the economic system when it comes to this game is actually benefits the player as well, because I'll be able to buy 3 boxes and have a play set of everything in the set.
Yeah, the only thing that's bad is the promos, but that's...
The promos, I think they're mishandling a little bit, but we could talk about that on a future date. But that's generally how I feel about that.
We all know how that is at this point.
So Ben talked about before about leaders and one side of one in the set, and for sure. What another leader do you have your eyes on for sure? For set 2?
Android 17, the 18, like the duo leader. I feel like that's going to be cute because it can awaken at 6, and then you can choose. So the cool thing about awakening is you can choose whenever you want to awaken it once your thing has been, like your awakening condition has been met, I would say. So I can like set on there if I have 5 life and I can just awaken it at 5, so you're not like quote unquote locking me, because anytime I get lower than 6 I'm good to go. And like the fact that all my androids cost less, I mean I like to play things for cheaper, so and like all the android cards are very supportive of each other. They kind of like swarm the field, and that's like decks I like to play. Very annoying swarm the field decks.
Yeah, when I first read Android 17 and 18, I thought it was kind of gimmicky because it was, well, not gimmicky, but it was very restricted because it seemed like your best value is to play Android 17 and 18 cards. And I don't like decks that restrict you that much. But to be honest, all the cards in the sets revealed so far, I mean, they're pretty good. The Android 17 and 18 cards.
Green in general, I think, is very strong.
Yeah, Android 17 has a 5-drop, and when he attacks, you draw until you have 4 cards. But with your leader, he's only a 4-drop, and I think that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
And 18 is a double striker at the 5-drop, but becomes
They're both
a 4-drop.
double strikers at the 5-drop.
Are you sure 17 is?
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up.
I thought he wasn't, but yeah, so that would be even better. But Android 18 has double strike, and it has a Go Tanks 3-drop effect where when it swings, your opponent discards a card from their hand.
I think that's so good.
Yeah, so, and I think it's 20K? Yeah, they're
both-
both 20K.
Yeah, but
I always wondered what Gotenks would be if it had double strike, and here it is. My physical manifestation, the next set, literally.
yeah, and the cool thing is, like, once your leader hits 4 or less, all of your 17 and 18 cards get a 5K boost.
Yeah, so those are doing
25K
25K to the mouth.
To the mouth, that makes you discard a card and deals 2 damage if you don't deal with it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's really
just
good.
good.
It's really good.
And even the 17 and 18, like the twin brother and twin sister thing.
The tag team you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I call them the tag team.
I like it. I like it. I think it's gimmicky, but I feel like it works mechanically.
The cool thing is, like, they don't have to target each other. So say if, like, well, that
Exactly.
that 17 is a double strike, by the way. I just looked it up.
Oh, see, that's even better than I thought.
So say if I swing with that 17, I draw 4 cards. I swing with that 18, I pitch a card to untap my 17 again, and then do vice versa with the 18, so I can potentially make you discard 2 cards, and I draw 4 cards twice.
Yeah, it's actually
Just by discarding 2 cards.
very good combos. I think green looks really good this set. I mean,
Green looks very good. Besides all the cell hype, which I believe it does deserve its hype. I feel because the cards coming out of that package in general is very good.
Yeah, and I think an underrated card that's going to come out from the Android package is one of 2, like 16 or 19.
yeah, 16 is the Blocker of Revenge, which it seems like every color is
looks
getting
so good.
the set, which I do appreciate.
His auto
Yeah.
is great too, because if he kills something, he stands himself, so he can potentially kill 2 things in a turn.
Yeah,
If you just like combo out with things and stuff.
yeah. Is there honestly on paper a bad Android card this set?
I think the worst one that's arguable is Android 20.
Yeah, but he searches any Android.
I don't think he's
Any
I don't
Android
think,
in the name of the card, so he can't search out the cell
well, it
cards.
says the Android, I think.
It's a different bracket. It says if it has Android.
Well, I
in
mean
the
that's
name of
still
the
good
card.
though.
Yeah, that's still good. Like if you're playing an Android engine.
Or even if you're trying to, if you have cell and you're trying to search specifically for a 17 or 18, it'll do that for you.
Yeah, well, it'll get you to where you need to go. But I think that's probably the worst one if I had to pick one, and it's not that bad because you're thinning out your deck.
Yeah, I mean it's because it doesn't do anything else besides search.
Yeah, I mean it's like what's it, a 5K?
it's a 10K.
Yeah, it's a 10K. It's
One
a
green.
drop.
I would still play it. I feel like it's
Yeah, for
very
sure.
good.
If you're playing Android
play
17,
4-of.
18,
Yeah.
I would play a lot of 4-ofs, I think, at first, just to like weed it out and see what goes there.
Yep.
Because honestly, you don't even have to play anything higher than the 5 drops in the Android 17, 18 deck. Like those are your money
Yeah, you
cards.
play the Go Tanks and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
and then
in
you
the
could
deck, too.
probably fit a small cell package in there just so you abuse the Union Absorbs.
Yeah, it's definitely an option. It's there for sure.
And then like if you really want to get cheeky, maybe you can throw a Broly line in there. But I don't know if you.
I
want
don't
to
think
mix
you're gonna have
those.
room, to be honest.
It demands a little bit too consistent.
Yeah,
too much
and
consistency, I
besides
feel.
you have that cell absorption spell card, which makes your opponent discard 2 cards. So like you can pseudo do that.
What a great card!
Well, what a great addition for Broly. Extra that has the same effect as a buyout Broly, so you can't negate it.
Yeah, if you think about
can't
it.
Coppola
So
it.
what's amazing with that card? It's a 4-drop. So if you're at 5 energy, right, you don't want to tap yourself out with 5, right? So if you're not going to do anything anyway, hey, you might as well play this card and make your opponent discard 2 cards.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it makes you play. So on turn 4, instead of playing the buyout Broly, you play the extra card to make them discard 2 cards. On turn 5, you pay the buyout Broly right there. So they discarded 4 cards within 2 turns.
Yeah, right when you hit like 4 energy, your opponent could potentially discard at least 2 cards every turn.
Yes, because they're playing a energy and a spell, so that means 2 cards out of their hand per turn. Generally speaking.
Seems good to me.
So, but you're accelerating that by 2. So instead of 2 cards, 4 cards.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
It's just stupid as hell. It's really stupid.
Yep.
So, I like Android 20 a lot as an extra card in general. Android package. I think that it's very good. It searches out all the cards that you need
He's a battle card.
for the engine. Yeah, I know.
Oh, I thought you said extra card. My bad.
Yeah,
No.
he's gonna be like Boo, where like you just play him and he just kind of sits there till he.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
at worst, he's a combo piece, and I feel like, is it really bad if he's a combo piece? That's like that's a card that's not in your hand.
I mean,
but you
he
can still use.
replaces himself, thins your deck, and gives you a free combo piece. I mean, no complaints.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
value time, for
honestly, with Android 17 and 18, you just play the Android package and then good green cards, and you got a deck.
Can we talk about
All you
Android
gotta do-
19 for a second?
He's
Android-
kind of funny. Yeah.
Android 19 is a little funny.
I actually, on my notes, I call him Android 19 hit and run
That's
because
funny.
that's how I,
I
feel
mean-
he is. He hits you for 10k to draw a card, and then he's 5k on your.
And he
opponent's
doesn't
turn.
even have to attack a leader, right? He can
No.
just
No,
attack a
when this
battle
card
card.
attacks, yeah.
So you just like pop them out there, just get pluses. Especially like if you're at the like 2 energy, 3 energy mark, and you don't want to tap out or you don't know what to play, might as well get a +1 off it. I'm
Right,
just
and
saying.
then like
And it replaces itself even if it doesn't get removed because you don't want to really target that, right? With any kill spells because it's a low cost.
I feel like
I
if
would
you-
definitely attack it though for sure, so you wouldn't get pluses. But at the same time, that it did its job then.
It did its job, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if once you see that Android 19 card, you're gonna do everything you can to kill it, so you don't get any. Your opponent doesn't get any more pluses.
It's a battle card that gives you pluses. I mean, that's few. That's rare.
It's,
right
it's
now
a
in the
target
game.
to get off your leader, is what
Yeah,
it is.
I mean, blue kind of had a lot, but green didn't necessarily. But so like blue had Bulma to get Whis and Boo to draw a card. Now green has Android 20 to search an Android, kind of like Bulma, and now we have Android 19, which is kind of Boo a little bit.
Yeah, you can splash Android 19 in any deck.
You could if you want to. Why not? I mean,
Just
seems
for
pretty good to me.
pluses.
Yeah,
I
why
mean,
not?
I like free card draw.
I also like free card draw.
Card draw is amazing for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any just other cards that we didn't talk about that you feel like should be mentioned in this conversation for the Android package?
In my list, we talked about everything. The 17 and 18.
And then if you really wanted to, you could probably fit some cells in there, depending on what the super rare does. Because then you can just go like Union Absorb. If you have open up a 17, an 18, and then the cell, you pretty much have like a 5-drop cell on turn 1. It's a double strike. So
No, you have to, because the cell is a 3 cost. The little one.
oh, okay.
Yeah, but you can technically do a turn 1 if you have the cell, the extra card that makes your cell stuff cost -2. But is that only for if your leader's cell though?
I don't know if it's leader specific or not. I can look it up though. Give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, because you could definitely do that turn 1 for sure. You could play that card and then you drop the 3-drop cell. That becomes a 1-drop. Oh, actually, you couldn't do it first turn because you got to pay for the other card. So you can do it turn 2 though.
That's still good. I mean, yeah.
You're gonna have a 5-drop on turn 2, bruh.
Yeah, that the cell's birth card is only if your leader's cell.
Okay, so you can't splash it with Android 17, 18, but that's still...
But then you're gonna run a 4-off, so you just play it again and then get more value off of it. So you it's value if you have multiple of those cells birth cards in your hand.
Yeah, I
So
mean...
you just play one and then just play another one and then play another one, just getting value off of that.
Yeah, the cell leader definitely will appreciate that card for sure.
Oh man, that card's bonkers.
And you definitely know one of the super rares for green is going to be a 7-drop cell at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be 7 drops.
What do you think it'll do?
Something probably good.
Any predictions?
I'm assuming he's gonna have like double strike, and then he's probably gonna make you discard cards from your hand.
He's either going to do that or, I don't know, something crazy. Maybe he regenerates a life if you do something.
Or like if maybe he'll get an effect if you play it, and then he'll get an additional effect if you like Union Absorb into it, or like use the evolve mechanic.
Union Absorb, they'll definitely be like if
A big payoff card.
It'll be like if 17 and 18 is under this card, it will do X.
Yeah,
That will happen. And it'll probably be something very broken.
Discard a card and then draw cards until you have 5.
Maybe. I mean, that's the theme they're going with right now, but I mean, that'd probably be too good, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, for Cell, I think it would be more flavorful to be able to, like, take 2 creatures, I guess, from, or a battle card from your opponent's side of the board and absorb the skill. So it's similar to, like, Boo, like what Boo does, like how Boo, like, negates a card, absorbs it, and then gains the skill of the card.
Yeah, that's basically what our boy Majibu's doing, the Gohan one.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. That's a new mechanic that they're introducing.
Was red revealed, or red is going to be the last color?
Red is the last
there was
color.
only some red and yellow stuff revealed already because there were like little sneak peeks at the New York Comic Con that just happened recently. So
they haven't been officially, so the red and yellow is
No.
going to be next.
Yellow is this Friday.
yellow, yeah, is this Friday?
Oh, hi!
And
We'll
then
have some
after-
coverage from that for next week's podcast, for sure.
For sure.
I think that a lot of these cards that are coming out are just very exciting.
So Jake, out of the blue and green cards that you've seen so far, what are some cards that you're looking forward to the most?
Okay, so I picked one just to be simple, but I might get into a couple of different battle cards that are around the same topic for sure. But I feel like if we start off for blue, for example, I feel like the best card that came out of the spoilers right now of the list, I think, is Zamasu, the Alert God, the rare.
That's the one that can be killed, right?
Yeah, so I'll read the exact card so everyone knows what it does. But I feel this card is stupid. Oh man, this card is bonkers. So I have it right here. So Zamasu, the Alert God, is 6 energy, a double blue. It's 25k power. It has Evolve for 5
Okay.
on Zamasu. It has Indestructible. This card cannot be KO'd by your opponent's card skills or battle and does not leave the battle area. So the only way you can be able to get rid of it is play an extra card that targets it to return it back to your hand. That's the only way you're able to get rid
Or
of
you
this card
negate
right
its skill, then kill it.
Yeah, something like this, something along those lines. I mean, it has to be very intricate, but like that's the simplest you're ever gonna get. And its auto is when your opponent's card attacks, if your leader card is Zamasu or Goku Black, you may place one card from your hand in the drop area. If you do so, negate that attack and negate the skill for the duration of the turn.
So if he
Negate
negates
its own
his,
skill.
Yeah, so you do only once per turn.
that means he loses his indestructibility as well.
For
I mean, to
for
be
that
fair,
turn.
if it's a walking cold bloodlust, I mean, I guess you know.
Yeah, that's access to this, other colors don't have yet, and I feel like this is gonna be one of the stepping stones for other cards gaining some type of effect like this.
So that was a 6-drop, you said?
It's a 6-drop double blue, which I think is very splashable, and I feel like the card in general you don't really have to like evolving. Evolving is great and all, but I feel like playing it by itself is generally what you want to go for because that's indestructible, and just have another card on the field instead of evolving it. But its auto is very good.
Yes.
It's always very good for sure. It negates is like you said, it's cold bloodlust. I mean, it's a negate pretty much out of his hand, and and you choose which attack, which I think is what.
Oh, it negates the attack, not the skill, right?
It negate the attack.
Oh, I misspoke. It wasn't cold bloodlust.
No, it was just pretty much a negate.
It's
but,
a negate.
Yeah, it's pretty much a negate. But what happens is that you get to choose which attack. So like, it's not the first attack you have to do. So some cards have that ability, like, oh, the first attack that's done this turn, you do this.
Right.
But this you get to choose, which I think is very valuable because then if I know you have a big creature on board or I'm waiting for something that's big, I'm just gonna wait. It's like a guaranteed negate unless they have something to get to
Does
pop
it
it back
have
to my
a
hand.
double strike or anything like that?
No, just indestructible. 25k.
In my opinion, that card is balanced.
Yes.
I believe. Because it's a single strike, it's a 6-drop, and its ability negates its own skill if you use it, so I feel...
Just once. Which the ability is going to be very good, obviously.
Right.
It's like the opponents have to play around that, and how do you play around that, really? You would just cast like a bait card or something like that.
So what you would do is you probably try to force the negate out of it, then cast your kill spell to kill it. Is
Exactly.
what you would do. Is
Yeah.
you would force like a big creature to you force a negate ability, and then like if you take the bait, I'm just going to kill it. That's how-
Yeah.
Yeah, you
I
have to
could
play
drop
very
it.
conservatively, for sure. You have to make sure that the...
Yeah, if I attack
Yeah,
with
it's not
something
that
big and then they negate it with the skill, then I could drop like a 4-drop Beerus or Furious Yell Vegito or X card. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's as broken as I know a lot of people online have been saying like, "Oh, this card's so good, it shouldn't have been made," and I'm like,
It's very fair balance.
relax.
They made sure
Yeah.
that you can't abuse the ability for sure, and they made sure they would. It's kind of, crossing all their T's and dotting all their I's pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, if it was triple strike, then I'd be like, "What's going on here?" Like,
Even double strike, I'd be like,
double strike, it would be pushing it for sure. So the fact that it's single strike, it balances it for me.
Yes, and there's another Zamasu card that I actually want to talk about really quick.
Zumatsu, in my opinion, got good cards.
Not only
But
the
Goku
leaders-
Black
is
not-
not good.
Goku Black and Zamatsu, I'm not a huge fan.
Really?
At first glance.
For Goku Black,
At first glance. I'm not a huge
I
fan.
think the play would be a lot more better than what I think people are actually looking at it.
That could be very true. It's just when I first read it, maybe it was because I was like, oh, this is Goku Black. I hope it's like really good. And then I read
You
it.
set,
and I'm like,
see, that's what you went wrong. You set expectations. That's what you did wrong.
yeah, that's how I feel about Cooler, but that will be another time.
So I'm talking about another Zamasu card right now. It's a 4-drop double blue. Zamasu the Invincible.
Okay.
It's a 4 energy, 15k, indestructible. It has a permanent that says if your leader card is Zamasu or Goku Black, reduce the energy of this card in your hand or battle area by 1. So you can play on turn 3.
See, that's good.
That's very solid for sure. A 50k indestructible that's a beast stick. They really can't really do anything about it if they're only playing a specific type of colors. Like, I think that's very good.
Yeah, you definitely swarm those and just like have them out there, and you're like, these guys are staying for the turn. I'm good.
Yeah, these guys are staying forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys saw the Gods Great Priest? The 7-drop that ramps you like mega if you're playing God. Oh
Yes,
my
yes,
man.
yes. Beerus loves that card.
Beerus orgasmed when they saw this card online.
Yeah,
For sure.
All the Wii spam was like, oh my goodness.
Now they can play Whis like legitimately turn 10. Like,
Oh, that'll
You
happen.
can-
Turn
You
8.
can play Whis like turn 7 now. It's disgusting.
This card is on turn 7. So it says double strike. When you play this card, if you leave the card as a god, choose any number of other god in your battle area.
Yeah,
and
I
add them
think
to your
you'll
energy
definitely
area
play
and
it a
rest
few turns early, which is what you want.
Yeah.
But I do believe that this set has given more answers to such said deck. So
yeah, like Zeno button.
or
Was that what
no,
the
just
playing
like
god?
even like the discard outlet from green. I mean
Yeah.
that helps a lot. Like
And green is a lot more aggro now as well.
yeah, and especially if you notice, like you can basically, you'll discard cards from their hand. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that card is good. Like if you play like a bunch of gods and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, the way the Beerus We spam is going, I don't think it's going to be as good as people think because of that card. I mean, it'll definitely.
Control will have to definitely go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, your build will probably look different if you're playing that.
You would
card.
probably, I mean, you would probably try to take a risk and play it instead of the Beerus at 2 of and
Yeah,
see which
you
one
don't
is
have
more
to play
valuable.
Beerus, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary to play Beerus. I feel
No, I think I like the 7-drop Goku better personally, but that's just
30k that can't be blocked or negated.
Yep, that's my boy.
Good talk, right? I can't tell you how many times I got killed because of that card from you
Yeah,
specifically.
I
I
play,
think one time from you for
I play
sure.
that
A
card
couple
religiously. Yeah,
Yeah,
if I play a blue deck, that card's in there. So
blue has also got a lot of good removal as well. Mafuba, woo!
blue definitely got good cards, but if I'm going over blue or green right now, it's definitely I think green got the better.
Green's very
support.
good. I agree with you. as
Which I think they needed. I think blue was obviously the most represented set 1. So
well. Speaking of blue,
okay,
transition period. Kevin,
yes.
what's your most hyped card for blue?
For blue or just in set 2 general?
I thought we were gonna do blue and / green.
Okay,
So,
all
one
right,
for each
all right,
color.
all right. That's fine. I can do that. We got some time.
Put you on the spot a little bit.
No, I know for sure. I like I don't know if it's just one card. I would just want to say it's the Future Trunks like whole package. That's what has me hyped the most for blue. I mean, there are some other cool cards in blue that I like the Indestructible. I think that's cool. It seems a little broken when you think about it, but it's really not because their effects aren't as good.
Yeah, they made sure like, hey, you only can do this once per turn,
Yeah, they're trying to balance it as much as they
and
can.
to negate the skill, which means it gives you an obvious chance to kill it.
But
So yeah.
yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to trying the other leaders too, because even if I don't like them at first, I'm definitely going to try them because I want to know what they do and how to counter them, and if they are actually better than I think. So, I mean, I would just say in general, though, the Future Trunks leader and his package, including, what we talked about earlier with the Mai, the free blocker, the Vegeta 3-drop, that kills a battle card, and, all that other stuff. That's what I'm looking forward to out of blue right now. So far,
It's pretty solid. What about you, Ben?
My favorite blue card so
Right
far?
now, yep. So favorite right now revealed.
I haven't looked at them in a long time, but
was there something that caught your eye?
that there was a Goku card that was like a counterattack play.
Oh yes, I did see that. It was
It was like a 4-drop, but like you can discard 2 sand cards and then just play for free, something like that.
I don't think it plays for free, but I think it plays for very little. I want to say it's 1 because I read that earlier.
So is it the determined striker?
He's
Son
like,
Goku?
He's like Super Saiyan Blue.
Counterattack, play this card, negate the attack. Permanent, when activating this card's counter, if you have 3 or less life, you may place 2 Saiyan from your hand in the drop area. If you do so, reduce the energy cost of this card by 3 for the duration of the
So
turn.
it costs 1.
It costs 1.
Which, I mean, so you discard 2 to make it 1, which, I mean, it's a desperate time.
It's a rare that negates an attack.
It doesn't get the attack.
And you get to play it.
You get to play it? Yeah, I
It's
think
definitely
that's
not bad.
I think that the colors, I like it a lot. That are getting a lot of negate tax too. I feel like that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, it's nice that we have negates and cards other than the negate
It
cards.
it makes
Like the extra cards.
playing negates almost not worth it. Almost, well, especially for later in sets if we have more cards like this
Well-
that have negates effects and stuff
Well,
like that.
blue might see play for a long time just because it's basically free.
Yeah,
Yes,
blue
negates
specific.
are
I'm
good.
talking about like red.
Yeah, no,
or
I
like,
know what you mean.
But like this card is very good for sure. I definitely agree with that.
And then that Gohan one that when you combo with it, you get to play it in Rust mode.
At the end of the battle, after your combo with this card from your hand, if your leader card is blue, play this card in rest mode. Wow.
Yep.
Not bad. What's the stats on that?
It's
It's
a
a
15k redrop.
Yeah, see, that's not
Any
bad.
combos for 1, I think, right?
One. Well, yeah, it's 10k for a combo.
So you're
Yeah.
paying 1 for a 15k B stick.
I mean, seems pretty good. And then if you play that with Trunks, you draw a card.
Yep.
So, not mad about that.
So how about we transition to green? Favorite cards in green, Kevin?
Oh, this is easy for me. I've been waiting about this for a little bit.
Welcome to the Cell hype trade. Choo choo!
I just love the Cell leader. I'm sorry. I think it's great. I mean,
I think I orgasmed a little bit when I saw Cell. I feel
My jaw hit the table.
my jaw hit. Yeah, definitely for sure. I was like, "There's no way."
I like Cell a lot. The front side, I'm not a huge fan per se of it in general, just because it's one of those your opponent can lock you at it. But I mean, at this point in the game, there's enough things.
There's enough stuff where you shouldn't be locked.
Right. So I would probably use the effect once or twice. So the front side is once per turn during your main, you can place one card under Cell, and then he pops a battle card your opponent controls of 3 or less. That's the front side.
Yep.
And then it awakens. And so the front side, though, I just want to say I'd probably use that effect once or twice. Probably twice at most, just because you are kind of negating one in a sense if your opponent is playing like Boo or Bulma or anything that pluses them. But if they are just playing a card in general or a blocker, that's definitely a good 1-for-1.
Yeah, it depends on what the deck you're playing against would determine how much you use that effect.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But I like to do it
once.
I like to do it once or twice.
Yeah.
And then on the Awaken side, you once per turn during your main, you put one card under Cell again, but you draw 2 cards.
So the card you replace itself, and it kind of like replaces itself for the
You get a
attack
+1.
effect. Yeah.
You get a +1. And also, once per turn during your main, you take 2 cards under Cell, put them to the drop zone, and you KO any opponent's battle card. No restriction. I just think that's good. That's just generally good. Is there anything bad about that Awaken
It's
side?
very good. It's like a troll leader.
Yeah, I like it.
And I wonder how the whole deck fares out like with control, because like it's control, but it's also aggro at the same time.
It can be, yeah.
It's very tempo oriented deck.
Yeah,
for sure.
tempo swinging is all over the place for Cell.
Yeah, so I'll definitely make it when it comes out, so you guys will know for sure.
Yeah, since we have cards that have like negate tax and stuff like that, it relies more heavily now on tempo when it comes to cards in general. Like, and that's why people like cards like Cell should thrive pretty much, because we'll be able to just draw 2 cards, replace play get a +1, discard a card, kill any battle card. That's an ultimate control deck. Like, there's like one viable right now. That's the most viable I've ever seen for control right now.
Yeah, and it's interesting too because I like a lot of people were like, "Oh, but Cell doesn't draw a card when he attacks on his Awakened side." Yeah, but
do you need to?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like,
I'd actually prefer this effect because you don't have to attack.
yeah, you're just playing your cards.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I mean, it's just good. It's good.
What about you, Ben? Favorite green card?
I've always been a fan of the androids, like through and through. I'm definitely trying it. I don't know how it'll fare up against like Cell or Beerus, but I feel like it can do. If it does what I think it's going to do, it'll probably be good against most
What do you
decks.
think it will do?
I think it's going to be able to just span the field with a bunch of little stuff, and then survive long enough with like the Android 16 blocker to just make sure I can have like 8 attacks in a turn. Kind of like what Gin you wanted to do, but better.
Yeah, it's
We
definitely,
were talking about that last
Yeah,
time. We said the exact same words.
it's a setup for sure.
Yeah,
I like it. I like where they're going with it.
that's pretty good.
How about you, Jake?
For me personally, I like Ready to Strike Piccolo. Oh man,
Ready to Strike Piccolo? That's
you want me to read it to you? Because it's a Broly
Yes,
special.
I know there's
It's a Broly
it goes
special.
I know you can summon Goku into Gohan into Piccolo,
in one
which
turn.
is awesome. But yeah, Piccolo is very good.
So Ready to Strike Piccolo can be actually searched by the rare. I think it's a rare for green. I have to look it up. Really
The
quick.
Gohan.
The Gohan, correct.
He's a 5-drop. I'm pretty sure he has like the Namekian robot, like before he's going Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good picture actually. I like it.
It's an uncommon actually. So it's a 4-drop double green. States
It's
that
only 4-drop.
yeah, when you play this card, choose up to 1 Piccolo with energy cost 3 or less, and from your deck and play it. So you get the blocker, and here's what the blocker does. The blocker is actually pretty stupid. It's a 3-drop, 1 green, 15k blocker that states that at the end of their turn, your opponent must choose cards from their hand until there are only 6 remaining, and place the chosen cards in the drop area.
That keeps a lot of decks in check.
Woo! Hype train for Broly. Come
Let's
on
just say,
board.
if somebody is playing green, that's might be an auto occlusion and most decks.
And it goes well with Broly. I can't stress this
I
enough.
think
I
it
would
just
probably
goes
play
well
that
in
card
any
as well.
green deck.
Any green deck
Yeah,
that
it's just a good card.
it's just a good
And
card.
it's a 3-drop, right? The Piccolo itself
The
is a
Piccolo
3-drop.
itself is a 3-drop.
So
But it searches out from Gohan. So technically, it might be 3.
You want to wait on turn 4, so you want to play the Gohan and then search for the Piccolo because you get extra value that way.
And that Piccolo is a blocker, you said?
A 50k blocker that has that auto ability.
I ain't mad.
It does what Broly wanted to do, but a lot better, to be honest.
Yikes.
To be honest, like more consistently, like something like this that'd be able to help us stack off the board as well as be able to just keep the opponent in check, pretty much.
Yeah.
And a 15k blocker isn't really anything to laugh at either.
Yeah, 15 blocker is pretty good, actually. You actually might want to think about saving it, especially your opponent might want to bait it out because they don't want to discard the like 6, especially if they're like Vegeta and they have like 13 in hand. You know.
And here's the thing about this as well, when it comes to Razor Strike Piccolo, I feel like what's undervalued about it, it's a blocker, and I feel like when an opponent wastes a kill spell on a blocker, that's one less kill spell for your relevant creatures.
Yes, absolutely.
And I feel like if Piccolo, the blockers become this good to the point where blockers have this ability, we're gonna be facing with trouble when it comes to like removal spells, because then you have to really decide: do you kill the blocker that's giving your opponent advantage, or you save it for at the cutthroat time when they play a relevant card that's about to kill you?
Right.
So it creates a lot of thought into it, and I feel like it will generate a lot more competitive play, a lot more smart play. I feel I've been dying to see a lot more coverage and stuff like that for matches and stuff like that, which we hope to do eventually. To do like matches and stuff like that, because me and Kevin, we have some pretty awesome games. Me, Ben, Kevin, and Ben as well. I see some crazy games between us, and we also will try to have special guests on like Bailey and Pete. Shout out to my main man Josh, Trevor.
Yeah, speaking of which, we might have a
Jordan.
Maybe we'll have a start continuing our guests next week. I know we took a week off and then we didn't have a guest this week, but you know we're always open, and there's a few people on the list.
So you say we're 24/7? We're like a diner, like an American diner.
No, I know there's a few people that want to be on, and I want to have on for sure, but we'll talk about it. I mean, hopefully there'll be somebody next week. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, we only been talking for about 40 minutes now.
Yeah, potato.
It just goes by really fast when you talk about this, because then now it's like you get so enthralled with the culture. We were talking about with Kevin about this earlier when we were watching Super.
Yes.
By the way, I was talking about how Dragon Ball Z benefits better than Magic ever will because of the culture surrounding the game and the amount of content you'll be able to see availability wise. And I feel like they could really run with that and really become a dominant force in the trading card game business.
Yeah, Bandai made a great business decision by capitalizing on Super in this game, because Super in English dub is only on the Universe tournament, which is very early in the stages. Like the Japanese dub is way ahead. So there's definitely more episodes to come, and like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a prime example of this, and Pokemon, where the animes are still going, and I think that helps out the card game as well.
It just brings more exposure.
Yeah, like people know what Super is.
Yeah, and to be honest, I watched Super, and I honestly feel like it's better than Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, just in general. And I feel like that's crazy to say, because in reality, did we ever really think we were gonna say that, like ever, like? Yeah. And then this gen dropped into our
we were definitely hesitant for sure, but I'm a big fan of Super. I do like it.
So I remember watching the first episode, and I was like, this show is amazing. Like they tell better. It's better storytelling. I feel like it takes less time. It also does the correct build up, and I also feel like the enemies are more. I can really believe that they're villains. I feel like Frieza's the only exception, but I feel like everyone else besides not Fat Boo but Majin Buu, I feel like that was the only two villains I actually believed were actually villains.
You didn't think Cell was a villain?
I think Cell was a villain I always knew, I had a feeling like he was just gonna get popped, and like all this power was supposed to make him look good, but then it was also meant to make someone else look better. So I always felt like that was Cell.
Yeah, but did you honestly think though that Gohan was gonna be the one to defeat Cell?
But you have to think though, if you think about it, Cell was the only Dragon Ball Z villain to get what he wanted. If you sit here and think about it.
I mean, that's also fair.
He just
wanted to be perfect. And then he changed it to destroying the world. But he got his original goal.
He did that out of spite.
Yeah.
Out of spite? I want to change my goal.
Yeah, he didn't really care. He was just like, I want to be perfect and I want to kill Goku. That was his main objectives, really.
And he did both.
Fact?
Yep. I mean, that's pretty fair. Well, thank you guys for joining us this evening on another edition of Dragon Ball Super Friends. We are back, baby. Money, we bitches, we back.
Yeah.
Yes, I finally did it. Woo! We did it.
Doctor.
Right, so why don't you close this out, Jake?
First, I just want to say shout out to everyone who listens on to the show.
Yes.
We all really appreciate some of
Lots
the
of
positive
love.
feedback that we've been receiving. I really, what we really had in mind was to just give quality content to everyone and to make sure that people can come into this game and watch a video from us or watch a video from anyone else in the community and be able to play and be able to learn how to play the game. Like, that was really essential for me when I was playing Magic. Like, I was able to go on YouTube. It was a whole community of people, and the Wizards of the Coast interacts with them and everything. So I feel like if Bad Knight takes advantage of that and takes advantage of the YouTube community, I feel like it would be very good in general.
I mean, I
for
know they
everyone.
definitely will, for sure.
They have a whole list of people that are on YouTube on the super page.
Yeah, this was before we started doing our thing, which is unfortunate because I could have just put our name on there. But that's old news.
Leave it to Kevin for
Hey,
for
that
promotion.
wasn't me. All right, well,
All right, we're setting off now. I'm the Jake,
I'm Kevin.
I'm Ben.
and thank you for joining us in another edition of Dragon Ball Super Friends. See you next time.
All right.